Hi guys, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm going to a different setup because my back hurts in my chair now because I'm in it for 8 hours a day now that I am at home virtual teaching. So this is my new hideaway place. But that being said, I am following up late, but I am following up on a video that I said I was going to post, which was I said I would give you guys a kind of feedback video after the first week of virtual teaching. Except it took me 2 weeks to not be exhausted at the end of every single day to the point of not functioning. I am in week 3 of virtual teaching now, and yeah. I had some feelings prior to going on COVID school teaching, and a lot of those feelings more had to do with the health and safety. And there's lots of schools that have gone back now. No. Well, in my area, I think we were one of the first. But it's been interesting to kind of see how people have been handling it and dealing with it and doing stuff. So I wanted to kind of give my 2 cents from where I'm at. That's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about kind of my highs, my lows, and some things that I'm aiming to change, hopefully before the 8 weeks are up, because as of right now, we are still slotted to go back October 12th in person for professional development on Columbus Day. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's start with the lows. Anybody who teaches knows there is no one who is more tired than a teacher. At the end of the first week of school, by Friday, your body is now, you have no voice. You've not eaten properly at lunch, at least, for the past week. And you haven't been sleeping. And by the time you hit Friday, you are drained. But I was prepared for that because that's how it's been for the past 4 years. And first day of school hit, and by the end of the first day, I went to bed at like 8. I felt like an old person. And that pattern kind of continued the whole week. And I slept for 12 hours from Friday to Saturday. And I don't know really what was more exhausting. I didn't lose my voice because I wasn't shouting the whole time. Or it wasn't that I was shouting, but like projecting. But I was exhausted. And that's just one piece. See, I could have handled it if it was just exhaustion. But then we started getting into like lesson planning, right? So the first week, it's all about introductions. Y'all do not realize, those of you who are teachers, you get it. You understand. Those of you who are not, you do not realize how much prep we have to make. You think about a unit and you're like, oh yeah, we're going to do that. Oh wait, can we do that on a computer? What does it look like on a computer? How do we make it work on a computer? Hey, I created it in this document. It does not look good. Oh, you recreated it in that document? It does not look good. Oh, I found this third random thing that we could use, and if you manipulate it like this, it looks just like it used to. So that started. And there went my day. I think one of the worst parts for me lately is just the time-consumingness of it all, right? So you have more prep because you have to make everything online, and you have to make it accessible and friendly. And that takes forever. And then you still have to grade. But unlike, being handed a stack of papers and just being able to be like, next, next, next. Now it's click, open, grade, type in the number, submit, X out, open the next one, open the next one. And I'll open like 5 at a time so I can just like click through them and then X out. Well, then once I'm done grading on Google Classroom, guess what I get to go do? I get to go put it in Skyward. Yay. I understand that if I graded on paper, that I would be doing the same thing, right? I would have the grades and then I'd be flipping through them and typing them in a grade book. There's a difference when I'm holding a paper in front of me versus when I'm on Google Classroom, scrolling up and down on the kids' names, flicking through my different rosters on Skyward to make sure I get all my kids for that period. And that's one assignment. And I have to have minimum of 2, if not more, every week. So grading is taking forever. Prep is taking forever. I have no time. Attendance is a nightmare. I am 100% certain that some school somewhere is doing it great, and you know what? To y'all, kudos. We are learning here, and I know this, and I keep that in mind, and I try to be positive and upbeat and not negative. Attendance is hard. The way it's currently set up is, so when my kids log on Google Meets, I have this little extension that like puts their name in a file, and then at the end I can download it and see who was actually at the meet, and those people count as attendance. And then I have to create an attendance form, and I check the attendance form, and anybody who's on the attendance form that wasn't in the live meet, I also have to put them down so that I have them. And so that counts as attendance too. And then say that was Monday, I did all that, right? And then like Tuesday, I'll check the attendance form one more time and then I'll delete it. But say on Friday, I have a kiddo submit all the work for Monday. Well, now that kid was here on Monday and I have to go back and I have to mark it present. Super stressful. Or if they reach out in any way, if I've talked to them over email or Google Hangouts or whatever it may be. So that's fun. And stressful. And you can't have blank attendance because then you don't get funding. And if we don't get funding, then we can't support school. If we don't support school, then it's just chaos. The other thing that's difficult about all of this is that, at least in my school, we're only actually teaching 2 lessons a week, which at first we thought would be great. It's not great. Fun fact. There are so many TEKs that we need to cover, and there is so much information that we need to cover, that only getting 2 lessons a week in is very hard to get everything done. We're 3 weeks in, so we're at the point where we kind of start assessing and trying to figure out where kids are and if they're understanding the concepts, and it's a challenge to know what to do because it's hard when you've only got 2 days to do it. So while it's more manageable for us because we're only teaching like 4 periods a day and then the other 4 periods, it's stressful to try and make sure you get all the concepts covered so that no matter what happens, you're at least covering content. And it's really hard to get all the content covered and keep the kids not having homework. Because what we're having happen now is the same as would be happening in the classroom. The kids are refusing to do their work. And at least if we were in class, you get up in their face, not like aggressively, but like, hey, come on, like, I need you to do this. Please, can you start that? Thank you so much. It's harder to see if they're working or not, because even though we can get into their document, sometimes they're like, but I am doing stuff. You're just not seeing. All the arguments that could come up are just not worth the arguments that they are. For example, today I had my office hours and I had one student in there the majority of the time. We're done at 3:30 and I got off at 3:48. I was helping this student. I don't mind helping students at all. But at some point, the question kind of does become like, if you were doing your work in class, would you need to be here? If you were willing to ask me questions in class, would you need to be here? So there's that. Which brings me to a whole other part of it, which is that within our lessons, so we only get to teach 2 a week, and then within our lessons, we're not able to tell if we're hitting. Like, normally, I teach something, blah, 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 and then I can, like, scan, right, with my eyes and be like, okay, so-and-so is not getting it, and neither is so-and-so, but the majority seem like we're good, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to keep going, and then I'll swing by and I'll hit those. Or my co-teacher will go and hit them. Or if it's like 3 or 4, sometimes we'll pull them into a small group and they'll work, and then one of us will keep the main group going. But we're not getting that. And so then when the kids aren't working, it's frustrating because you're like, would you be working if we were in class and I had re-explained something to you? Or are you purposely choosing not to work? Because that's what we've got. We've got kids who don't know what they're doing and they're actually confused, but they don't want to ask questions. So they don't do their work. We have kids who are superstars who understand everything we're doing and are turning everything in within like 10, 15 minutes and are moving on. And then we've got the kids in the middle that totally get it. They just don't care. And if we were in class, they would be the kids who were like, hey, come on. No, I'm not kidding. Do your work. And they would do it. Except now, there's no me there to tap on their desk, to hover around them, to annoy them, basically, into submission. There's nothing more annoying than a teacher just standing there preventing you and your friends from talking about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And I will stand there and be like, hello, do your work. So that's been a thing. Part of it is, the good and the bad of student participation. It's not being able to read the body language to make sure they're getting what they want. I also spent an hour and 50 minutes on the phone. Well, not on the phone, but on a Google Meets office hours with a student. Never seen her face till today. That's hard. That's hard as a teacher. Because my kids are like, no, I don't want to show my face. I want to stay hidden. Leave me alone. And I'm just over here like, really? Leave you alone? No. Do your work. Come on camera so I can see you, so I know your pretty face, so that when we go back to school, I know who you are. So that has been also rough. And the other thing that's been hard is they want us to adhere, or my district is encouraging that we adhere to normal work hours, which is very difficult because it's easy to not talk to kids early in the morning because I'm not gonna lie, I'm sleeping in a little bit more. Like, I'm not up till 7 when I don't have to be out the door by 7 because I walk 10 feet down a hallway. So, I'm not up at the crack of dawn, so I'm not texting kids or putting things on, not texting, but like Remind. The Remind app, we use it a lot. I'm not messaging them on that. I'm not doing the Google Hangout to be like, hey, y'all, remember we have class. I'm not doing any of that. But it's the afternoons. It's currently 5:10 p.m. and I have kids that are doing work right now that may ask questions. And for my sanity now, I have to stop answering them. But sometimes it's hard. It's not as hard when it's like 11, 12 o'clock at night because I have no interest in dealing with you at that point. And also I probably shouldn't be awake anymore. It's almost been harder to distance myself from it. So that's been rough because I'm used to being able to be like, nope, I walked out of the building. I am off the clock. Like, let's go. But like, I don't walk out of the building. I leave a room that I'm currently sitting in right now. So if I go back in it at any point, and this is the room I do all my grad school in. So, and I do a lot of my reading and my writing in. So it's weird. It's a weird transition to make sure that I'm adhering to normal work hours and not like letting myself get caught up. Something that I think my co-teacher and I are trying to both adhere to, which I think we're both struggling with it, but we're trying, is to not be teachers who work for free. So we are slotted from 8 to 4, and so try not to work before 8 and not to work after 4, which doesn't always work, but you know, if it's like 4:30-ish, I'm still feeling pretty good about myself. So there's that. Yeah. That was a lot of bad things. There are good things, okay? So let's talk about some of those, and not just about all the sad things that make me sad. There are good things. One of the good things is that I don't have a commute anymore, which means I'm saving money on gas, which, as silly as it sounds, is actually awesome, because I was filling up my tank like every week, and now it's like 2-3 weeks because I don't really go anywhere except to pick up like Mexican food and the groceries. That's it. Which sounds horrible and sad, but it's not. I do pick up my friend now and then because he comes over, and that's fun. And we watch like 80s movies. But like, really, I'm just a homebody, so this is kind of imperfect for me because I don't like going out all the time anyways. Unless it's a bookstore, which I've gone to a couple times, and I have too many books, and yeah, it's a problem. So yeah, the no commute is definitely helping. More relaxed dress code. Not this relaxed. I was in a school shirt when I was like, oh, I'm gonna record today. I did not want to record with my school displayed across on it, just to be safe. But it's definitely more relaxed. Like, I will make sure I am dressed professionally from the waist up. I don't stand up. The kids don't see me moving around. So generally I'm in sweatpants and some sort of professional shirt, or like a school t-shirt, you know, that represents my school. And so that's kind of nice. Another part is the puppy cuddles, which I can show you. For example, my dog is patiently waiting for me to finish. He's giving me the cold shoulder because he jumped in bed this morning, and he's not allowed in the bed because the bed is in the bedroom, and the bedroom is the cat's territory. So he's not happy with me because I didn't want him in my bed because he upset my cat. But it is nice to, like, if I get stressed out, I can just lay on the floor, or he'll be in here. Generally, actually, he's in this chair, and so he's also upset that I stole his chair. So, you know, I'm trying to find the positives. And I get to cuddle my cats whenever I want, which is also great. Another positive is I am eating better lunches. And I say better in the sense that I have a microwave in my classroom, I have a mini fridge, I can heat stuff up, whatever. But a lot of times during this work week, I'm eating those like frozen microwavable dinners. And that's my lunch. Versus here, it's like, you know, oh, I could make a sandwich, or I could eat leftovers, or I could make some soup, or I can make an actual meal. I normally end up like a sandwich or leftovers or something like that, but the option is there. I could eat healthier. There have also been days where I'm like, I am so stressed, and towards the end of my last class, I like order food, like I've ordered Mod Pizza, and then I'll like drive to Mod Pizza and pick it up and eat it, and it makes me so happy. So happy. My last positive is that I actually have been forcing myself to disconnect at the end of the day. That has meant that, you know, I work solid. I go from 8 to 4, and then I shut my computer and I'm done. I mainly do this because I need to be able to breathe. And so by shutting my computer and then I will immediately leave the office, it helps me kind of like push everything away. At least for a little while. It is definitely nice to get to do that sometimes. So it's something that I want to keep working on. Like the past couple weeks, I'll disconnect and I'll go read for a while. So that's great. But then I stopped doing all my other things for all my other stuff. And so I am going to have to start working on things. But reading is still a huge part, and it's probably how I will end my day every day. So that's exciting. So book reviews are coming. So those are my kind of highs and lows. The last part I kind of want to talk about are things that I'm trying to improve. These could be bad things, these could be good things, these could be whatever. First one is forcing myself to be done with work. Part of this comes from my mental sanity, the fact that I don't leave the house, the fact that I'm working from, when I wake up till 4 o'clock, the fact that I deal with my own stuff. I need that time away. My boyfriend does this thing that stresses me out where like he'll finish work day and then he'll work out and he'll do whatever, and then it'll be like 11 o'clock and he like opens his computer again and he starts working on school stuff. That makes me anxious. It's like, no, it's 11 o'clock. It's time to go to bed. It's time to relax. It's time to read your book. It's not time to do school stuff. So that's been like a transition for me. But also like I have to make sure I'm keeping myself accountable now, because if I don't work hard enough during the day, then I can't be done by 4 to 4:30. So it's kind of like a give and take, like making sure I stay focused during the workday, but also understanding that at 4 or by 4:30, I'm done. I'm off. I'm going to enjoy my night. Even if that means all I do is read and go to sleep, I'm going to enjoy my night. The second thing that I'm trying to work on and improve, and if anybody has any suggestions, please let me know, is how to connect more with my kids. I'm used to having those conversations, where you have downtime or where you're going from group to group or partner to partner, and you have those like little conversations like, oh, hey, like, how was your weekend? What'd you do? Did you do anything fun? And getting those little conversations with kids, and they're not having it. They don't give us those conversations when we're in this setting. It's like they don't want to hear each other talk, or they don't want other people to hear them talk, even though if we were in class, you'd be talking all the time. I don't know. I have no idea where this comes from, but I am struggling. And like today, I worked with a kiddo for forever and actually felt like I kind of got to know her a little bit. And it took me 3 weeks. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to struggling with names and faces and getting that down, but I'm not used to not knowing them yet. So it's weird. And if anybody has any tips on how to not do that, please tell me. I will be forever grateful. The third one, which kind of goes with the fourth one, is I'm trying to learn how to let go of things I can't control. So like when administration changes something, or plans have to change, or the schedule gets upended, or oh well, I know for the last 3 weeks this has been acceptable, but now it's not, and this is I'm trying to just let it go. It's a new era. When technology messes up and our lesson doesn't go as planned, I'm trying to let it go. It is a new era. We have never taught like this before. Even in the spring, it was nothing like this. So I'm trying my best to stay positive. So we'll see how that works. Trying. That goes into taking care of me, because I'm the kind of person who internalizes a lot. So if something's going wrong, even if it has nothing to do with me, I will figure out a way. I'll figure out a way that is my fault. And it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Not at all. It is a thing. And so part of like being done with work at 4, getting to know my kids, letting go of control, all of that is about me. And understanding that at the end of the day, I still have to look out for me, just like I would at work. But it's like it's harder to look out for me when I'm not there physically, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird concept. I've been up and down and all over the place, which has partially been why I've just hidden in books for the past 2 weeks. Hopefully, as I continue to take care of me, things will start to get better. Fingers crossed. And the last thing is my grad school semester started. And it started last Monday. So I can't just be all invested into school all the time because I have my own schooling that I have to do. And as much as that sucks, and I'm sure it sounds selfish, I have to make sure that I'm doing things for me because I'm trying to also achieve my goals and make my way in the world. So I gotta make sure that I can take care of myself as well. There's pros and cons to everything, and I know this. But I think this one goes out to more all the other teachers. I see you. I feel the exhaustion. To those of you back in the school, I worry for you, but also I do wonder if it's easier. We won't really know until everybody goes back here because nobody's gone back here yet. It's gonna be a wild year, y'all. Speaking from a teacher perspective of things, given that this is how my 5th year of teaching is going, that's pretty on target. Something chaotic was gonna happen and try and push me to quit, right? So that's that. If you guys have any tips or tricks or support or just kind words to pass on to fellow teachers, please let me know. Otherwise, like and subscribe. And I'm going to be getting, fingers crossed, book reviews done this week too. So hopefully you guys will kind of get a flurry of activity over the next couple of weeks now that I'm focusing and rebranding on myself. So thanks for coming to another Away We Go video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.